Alright, so no introductions or outroductions, but if you want to, hit the bell notification. If you really care about my stuff, please like, share, comment. Really subscribe. Anyways, it's starting to get a little bit more darker out here, so I'm going to make this a real quick-ass reaction compared to the literal 1 hour video I just finished doing about this VTuber. I got a lot of backlash of hate, which because long story short, I think because some people thought she was doing blackface or brownface because her hair was all kinky, but she was like a white girl. And I don't know if a lot of black people or a couple black people got mad about it, or just a bunch of white people that they're going on a lot more crazier left side than the right side. Like, oh, there's cultural appropriation. They're being bigot and racist because she's white and white people don't have kinky, frizzy hair. I don't know, bro. And I'll leave the link down below to that. Anyways, with a different shirt and a different hat now, so it's a different day. But all of these videos are coming out on April 12th, so I'm probably not going to get any views for these things. But if you decide to stick around, thank you very much. Appreciate the hell out of it. So it says, Superman. Sneak peek. Is this from officially DC's official actual thing? It was 5 hours ago. By the time you guys see it, it's going to be like a week and a half old. So it's going to be old ass news by this point. But the movie doesn't come until July 11th, so it's still going to be by that point almost 4 months or 3.5 months and maybe a half a week before the movie comes out. So we still got a lot of time before this comes out. I know some people are getting pissed off that the character dude looks like he's wearing a frumpy ass freaking like pajamas. He's not really wearing a hardcore ass S on his chest. It does look more like a number 8 more than it does a S on his chest. Me, I really don't care because I never really got that deep into like reading comic books or reading Marvel DC shit when I was a 90s kid. The only thing I ever liked about Marvel DC was the 90s and early 2000s when they had like the cartoons from like the one that the late Kevin Conroy, rest in peace to that dude, even if he was gay, he was still as a good badass freaking amazing monumental actor of Batman. That's the thing he was mainly known for. Voice of Kevin Conroy was voice of Batman. That was the embodiment of the voice actor for Batman. Now, as far as the original Batman goes from the 50s, 60s era, when I forget what it said, Robert Kane, the Mr. Goldfinger or something finger, I forgot what his name was, the ones in the 30s, 40s that created the original Batman comic book. Something Bill Finger, I forgot what his name was, but I think the other one was something Robert Kane or something. One of those two are the original creators of old school Batman, way before my ass was alive and breathing. Until like the late early 90s. But anyways. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the ones that did like those old school DC cartoons, like the Batman animated series and Superman animated series, those ones are fun. Even the ones in the late 90s or mid 2000s, when they did Batman Beyond, and when they did what else? That one, the Justice League and all that. Those ones when I was growing up as a kid, early teenager, like, that shit was peak at that time. That was like the best time to be alive. And then the Fox Kids shit, where they had like the X-Men series, the Spider-Man series, and what else besides that? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, the original one, not the ones that were the reincarnated ones. I didn't grow up with those other ones because that's probably what more Gen Z grew up with, or Gen Alphas. But yeah, it's just, dude, I cannot wait. I hope to God this shit's good. I know I haven't really talked about Marvel DC news in a long ass time. The last time I even did anything DC related was, I think it was a couple months ago or earlier this year in January, or it was in December. I forgot when, but it was like a. If any of you guys remember in the mid late 2000s, when I used to do a lot of like reactions to like stuff from Bat in the Sun and all these other like fake fan made projects from fake Marvel ladies, from just fans themselves. And like the Dragon Ball Z shit I did a long time ago, 2013-14, The Light of the Hope. That one was fun, man. Like, I used to do a bunch of reaction videos at the old house. If any of you guys remember, you probably only have 200, 300, 400 subscribers at the time before I hit 884. Thank you very much for that, anyways. But yeah, not for me yapping and talking, but I used to watch a lot of them. But yeah, the last one I'll say is this: is like, it was in December or January, and I watched it and I was like, oh, this shit's really good. It was like a Batman Beyond, but it has something to do with like that other character that was in the Kids WB series. It wasn't an official movie; it was just a fan-made movie. But that shit would have looked really good if they had a high budget, like it would have Warner Brothers did for like all the DC movies, and then like freaking what's it called? And Disney Marvel. They didn't make them all politicized and shit, and they just stuck to the story and just have badass characters without pushing stupid ass agendas and shit, or MKUltra, Illuminati, Freemasonry shit. They didn't have any of that crap in there. Then it would be so much of a better TV series. Instead of try to make it ultra politicized, or make it a female girl boss and do a gender swap or some stupid crap like that. It is what it is. Anyways, enough of me yapping. That's 5 minutes over. Here we go. Sneak peek. 3, 2, 1, let's get it on. Superman. Let's see it. It's good or bad? I hope it's good. Please be good. The same thing like they did before a few months ago when they showed it. I hope it's good. Please don't be a repeat. I hope it's awesome. I wonder if they're going to show Crypto again, unless it's going to be a whole different change of a suit. I don't know. Some people said that it might be a change of a suit, but I doubt it. I don't believe that for a second. I remember this part. There's no Crypto to
Stop! No! Crypto! Crypto. Take me home. Home. Crypto. Home.
Funny because I wore the exact same thing I'm watching. Like, I got it all right there. So I wore the right shirt for the right occasion this time.
Superman!
Hey, Colonel, you're doing so.
Thank you.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever. Merely automatons here to serve. Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me.
14 fractured bones.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
With a healthy dose of yellow sun, we'll have you up and at 'em in no time.
Level 4?
292 times Saharan Prime, please, one.
Back.
Alright, so now it's extremely dark, so you're gonna have to give me a quick second thoughts, use opinion, speculation. So back on one quick sec. Alright, so as I was saying before, I'll say it again. Thoughts, use opinions, and speculation, and all the other stuff on my mind or I thought about this Superman sneak peek. So far, it's pretty smooth. I don't really get that much of a problem with the whole freaking, like, what's it called? The suit. It looks kind of funky a little bit, I'll admit it, but, like, I didn't, like, invest the hell out of my life for Marvel DC stuff like I did with anime and manga and video games. That's more my forte of what I really want to live for this life more than anything in the world that's more important to me, such as life. But yeah, of course I always known anime and video games, manga, everything. I still gotta be an adult, pay my taxes and bills and shit like that. Obviously, there's no way now I'm gonna be able to pass it out because if I do, I'll be in prison, and I don't want to do that. But then again, we're all freaking like tax slaves at the end of the day, unfortunately. Unless you're super rich as hell at the wazoo, then you ain't never gotta pay no fucking taxes. You're good for the rest of your life, but more than likely probably serve the devil and you're probably a Satanist piece of shit, so fuck you if you are. But anyways, no, seriously though, thoughts, using opinions for real. I don't know, like, it seemed like it was pretty good. Like, it's cool they still have the Crypto the Super Dog. I hope they don't take that away. He kind of looks like, if I had a complaint about it, they should have got more of like a white, I don't even know if white Dobermans exist, but like, if there was like maybe a white Doberman or a white, I don't know, a golden retriever, maybe like a bright white sort of boxer instead of like the mangy mutt sort of poodle that they got for Crypto. Like, they probably could have used that instead of this one. That's probably like the lightest sort of complaint I'd probably be able to make about the freaking movie. Other than that, it's so far it's looking good. It looks like the dude Nicholas Hoult tried to be like a. I kind of can't take him seriously as Lex Luthor, man. I'm not saying the one for 2015-16 when they did like Superman like versus Batman, but if it was 2014 or 15 or 16. I think it was 2016 or 17 when they did Justice League. And then in 2020 when the whole Pandemic scandemic was going on, I remember that very well because I remember that was yesterday, even though it was like 3.5, 4 years ago. But I remember like on the time that when they came out, the whole version of Zack Snyder's edition of Justice League Unlimited, the pure Zack Snyder cut, people were going ham off of that shit. Like the internet was ablaze on fire for that crap. Like they really wanted this shit to be a thing, and it ended up being a thing. And when we got to see like the Green Martian dude that was going to be in there, because I remember that one in the Joker that was from the cartoon series. Like they were badass as hell in the cartoon series, you know. Granted, Mark Hamill, like politically, I massively disagree with the motherfucker big time, but like talent wise, that dude is freaking badass when it comes to his voice acting. And I remember years ago when I found out in 2011, 12, when I was still watching the Gumball cartoons and Amazing World of Gumball, and then was the other one, regular show. I found out that he was like the voice for Skips too. I was like, I can't believe that was freaking Mark Hamill that did Skips. Like, bro, what? It's wild, man, how far that dude's come from the 70s up to now, the 2020s. Dude's still breathing thing out, but like, it is gonna be a sad ass day when that dude passes away, man. Same with other ones I grew up with, even though granted, politically, I might have to disagree with them a lot, so some more. Even though granted, I know it's a whole freaking illusion. It's really beliefs and ideologies at the end of the day that you believe in. It's not left or right or any of that shit. I'm not even gonna get into that. Because a lot of that's probably just a psychological operation at the end of the day. Is just to mind control people to have hatred towards each other forever and not ever get along. That's why I'm so glad, even though granted I was religious, and not religious, I was raised in a Christian religious household. I'm glad I wasn't raised in like a political household. Thank God. That would have brainwashed me way, way worse than the thinking this left-right paradigm system was real. It's all fucking fake at the end of the day, but getting back to this, yeah. Like fools I used to like Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and all this stuff that Martin Scorsese's movies did. Like, it's gonna be sad when a lot of them pass away, man. Fools like Morgan Freeman, Denzel, even the dude that did the 4 or 5 years ago the slap to Chris Rock, Will Smith, when he ends up going, like, it's gonna be a real sad day when I ended up seeing that time. I was like, dude, these are people I used to grow up watching when I was a 90s, 2000s kid and adolescents at the time and teenager, you know? It's just sad, but really going back to this, I don't know, like, it could be better. I don't know. The Green Lantern, I don't know. Because I remember in 2011 when that movie with Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, came out, I know a lot of people were shitting on it and crapping on it. Like, I actually thought it was pretty, and this hot take, and people now will probably crucify me for saying this, but it was pretty cool. I thought it was awesome. I don't know why people hated it so much, but I thought it was like the sickest, baddest, epic freaking movie in the world, like top 10. That's, I guess a lot of people, the ones I guess more like the comic book people that grew up with this, I think they hated it more because it had nothing to do with the comics or like the cartoon. Maybe that's why they got pissed off at it. But as somebody that didn't really read the comics growing up, I guess that's the reason I thought it was cool. I don't know. This is like when I watched the other thing. I actually read the whole, not read it, but I heard the whole audiobook of that movie that's coming out next year for November, which I hope to God it's better than what Battle of Songbirds and Snakes was. I heard it was on April 1st too. I don't know if I wanted to do a video on it because there was like a 150-second or a minute trailer of the Hunger Games of not Silence of the Reaping, Sunrise of the Reaping. So I heard all of the stuff for it already, like the audiobooks. I read all the audiobooks. I didn't read them, but I already know what's going to happen for the freaking story because I heard all of it on YouTube and all that. So I'm already got spoilers, but it's crazy, bro. It looks like it's going to stick to the same formula like the older Hunger Games should have. That's the future 75th instead of the 50th Hunger Games because, oh, I can't wait to see that freaking technology, bro. That's going to be so cool next year when I get to see all the crazy technology they used in that movie to see how they did the freaking scary, like, you know, capitals having the kids battle and kill each other and all that shit. That's gonna be insane, dude. Oh my god. Because this one, they said, like, compared to all the other Hunger Games that happened later on and the ones before that, was the most craziest, scariest, and most, like, insanely wildest freaking shit in the world. It's wild, man. And then, speaking of which, yeah, I already know what's gonna happen. I know there was a trailer for it, but I don't know if I want to react to it or not, because I still want to do that bet battle thing. Shigaraki from Hero Academia versus the other dude from Jujutsu Kaisen, which I never watched the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, but I heard it was real good. I don't know, maybe one day I'll look at it. But anyways, so I just ran out of here, and that's it. Peace out once again, ladies and rose women. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and bears, as always. Talking to you boys that will see you guys a day up and wherever you're in the world, the universe out there. Don't just roll at the same time. Don't think they're reckless. Keep it calm, cool, chill, collective out there. Stay tuned for your channel, go to video game industries, once in a while anime news, manga news, and of course, as always, virtual VTuber drama news from Sportskeeda, Dexterdo, Park Place, all those other places, and Elon Musk news once in a while, and of course, stuff the video game industry news, video game trailer reactions, movie reactions like this one, and once in a while, indie cartoon reactions. That's it. Peace out, my sauerkraut. Let's see you on the flip side. Take it easy on them out. Goodbye. See you next time. Later.